Hey y'all, my name is Nat. I hope you're having a terrific day today, and for this video we are doing my November plan with me. First up, however, let's do a flip through of last month's spreads. Alright, and then jumping into my November ones. Starting out, I actually made a color chart this month, and we're gonna see how useful this ends up being. I also am trying to up my game a little bit, so guess who is gonna start using construction paper and other things for layering and coloring? My boyfriend also was wonderful enough to get me a Tombow adhesive applicator, which I've been wanting forever. It's basically a glue version of whiteout, and oh my god, it came in handy so much this month. This first page is going to be a quote, and I decided to go with a foresty theme this month, so I got some branches and lots of mushrooms. The quote is, "The forest did not scare her. Rather, she wanted to be like it, ageless and impervious, cruel and beautiful." This is from The Bone Houses by Emily Lloyd-Jones, which I read last month and absolutely loved, and thought it worked perfectly with the theme I wanted to do in November. Moving on to the next page is just my usual title page. Got 1st November in some fancy brush script, and then the layout for the month, plus a few extra mushrooms at the bottom. I will say I got the idea for mushrooms this month from the Plant-Based Bride, and I'll put a link to the video of her creating a bullet journal based around mushrooms. Mine don't look nearly as fancy as hers, but you know, I took inspiration from her wonderful drawings and paintings. On to the next page, which is my calendar layout for the month, and I was very lazy, decided to not go through and ink all those lines. Also going to put in a few important dates that I have, as well as the readathons I'm partaking in. So for the 1st through the 14th is Game of Tomes-a-thon, and then after that, from the 7th to the 20th is the fanfic readathon. I'll put information for both of these in the description down below if you're interested. And as I said, going to be utilizing some of those different colored papers for a more textured and lifted look for this title. Initially, I was just going for reading goals and going to utilize one of my little stencils, but it looked terrible, so I redid it. You know, I think it's a good thing I did because the second time around it came out much better. So since this is for my reading goals, first up is a nonfiction book, and that's going to be The Woman They Could Not Silence. After that is my backlisted read, which is Helter Skelter by Vincent Bugliosi. Then is my diverse read, and that's going to be Hunger by Roxane Gay, followed by my adult book of the month, and that's Yearbook by Seth Rogen. Then for book clubs, I'm actually only going to be participating in one this month. The read will be She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan. Finally, for a few secret TBRs, I have The Maidens and They Never Learn. And then one last book for the month is just Survive the Night by Riley Sager. Then in the bottom right corner, I have 2 more mushrooms. These are a little bit different style. The first one I was kind of going for like a beach mushroom, so it's a bunch of little ones all connected to one at the bottom. After that is a king trumpet mushroom, which are these really odd looking ones. I think they also are called king oyster mushrooms. Real quick, I had to take a little cupcake break because, you know, I was hungry. After that page is going to be my pages read spread. So got my usual graph, just going down, listing out all of the days, and then each little segment is 20 pages read, with the last one being 200. Don't usually surpass that, but you know, it might occasionally happen, maybe. Doing a little bit more of that construction paper and then a different piece of tracing paper on top of it so that I can write in my expected pages, and then at the end of the month fill in my actual pages. Plus 2 more mushrooms, and these are not realistic. These are actually based on a game I play on my phone occasionally, and yeah, that's why they're a little bit funkier colors, but I thought it would spruce this page up a bit. Then for my brain dump, I wanted to be easy and lazy, so I utilized one of my stickers, happened to have a mushroom one, and then used corresponding colors for the title. Next is my favorite line spread, so I don't want to take up any room in the middle really, so I'm gonna be doing 2 washi tapes across the edges. I wish this leaf combination also had a mushroom on it somewhere, but unfortunately it doesn't. And then I went in to put some color on the alternating lines. Finally, we're not going to talk about the fact that I messed up the title. I was gonna put favorite lines, and instead I put favorites, and I didn't want to correct it, so it's staying favorites. Then these next 2 are going to be my readathon spreads. As I mentioned, I'm going to be partaking in Game of Tomes from November 1st to the 14th, and there will be 3 prompts that I have to complete. First up is The Crossroads Inn, which is to read an anticipated book, and that's going to be They Never Learn by Lane Fargo. Following that is King's Landing to read a 5-star prediction, which is The Woman They Could Not Silence by Kate Moore. And then the last one is The Iron Throne, and that's a book with royalty. So I'm going to be going with She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan. And then made the colors of the spines similar to the actual covers themselves. This next side is for Nonfiction November, which is a readathon I will be partaking in all month, and I wanted to make the entire spread black. I just thought it would be kind of fun and different, help this page stand out a little bit more. Then I'm just doing a simple checklist for each of the prompts and the books I will be reading for them. So first is collection, and for that I'll be reading Yearbook by Seth Rogen. Following that's industry, and I'll be reading Helter Skelter by Vincent Bugliosi. Then is style, and I'm going to be reading Hunger by Roxane Gay. Finally, for treatment, I'm going to be reading The Woman They Could Not Silence by Kate Moore. I might squeeze in a few more books in there. I would love to do so, but I'm not going to put that on an official TBR. Add in another little bit of that tracing paper for some extra color variation. Onto the next round is the spreads I do for the two books I'm going to be discussing in my secret TBR. First is The Maidens by 𝗖cie, and I wanted to do another strip of that tracing paper. I'm sure you can figure out where I got the idea for that from if you look at the cover. Then I utilized my black shiny pen to put in the title, and finally topped it off with a little strip of gold washi tape, as the cover itself has a bunch of gold accents all over it. This next one is for They Never Learn by Lane Fargo, and while the title itself is very bland because I couldn't figure out a font that I wanted to do, I had this one corner of my stencil that looks very similar to the top of the gate on the cover, and I was like, bang, I know what I'm gonna do here. Then for the final page, this is my wrap up, and you're probably wondering, Nat, why is there a sunflower? I thought the whole theme was mushrooms. For my birthday, my mom had an ongoing theme of sunflowers in many of my gifts, and I love sunflowers, so I decided to take inspiration from her and draw one in. For the title, utilizing some more construction paper and tracing paper to cover up that little bleed through, and you know what? It worked out perfectly. Then this last page is for my daily entries. These differ in length constantly, so I never like planning them out ahead of time. I do them as I go. Sometimes they take up one line, other times they take up the entire page, which is why I'm just gonna put in the date, November 2nd, a little mushroom drawing. Okay, and then let's do one final flip through. Alright y'all, so as always, thank you so much for coming to my channel today. I really appreciate it. Make sure to hit like and subscribe down below. I come out with videos on Monday and Friday, but until then, I hope you continue to have a terrific day. Love you, bye!